Hi, so I'm not really sure how long this should be, but here we go. So my name is Laura Natalia Evans. I'm 26 years old, and I just graduated with a degree in chemical engineering. I was born in El Paso, Texas, and lived there until about the age of 14, when I decided to move with my mom, who had entered the military. So I wanted to begin talking about what it would mean to be an ambassador before I delved into who I am and what makes me unique. Being an ambassador for your company would mean being able to influence people to not only buy socially and economically responsible jewelry, but to be an advocate for kindness. I found True Gem a while back and I followed silently, always admiring Lynn doing her questionnaires and Stack Sundays. But what I loved most was the passion she had and the kindness she protruded and how she carried herself. She really thought about her responses and gave real meaning to them. So, I believe ethical jewelry is something that is so important in industry. Countless lives are disrupted and destroyed from ill practice. I've long been an educator to friends and family on the importance of sustainability and ethical jewelry. Friends who have been hunting for rings, for their significant other in hopes that they would be proposed to soon. I always directed them to several different ethically sourced outlets. I have educated myself consistently and constantly on what companies do to help mitigate areas that are affected by, blood diamonds or blood source jewelry. Um, I've educated others on the monopoly that currently exists that devastates surrounding areas and how several companies have gone in providing clean water wells for populations, education not only for children but those who have the jewelry, and what their gem is actually valued at. Being a kind human and helping others are non-negotiables for me, and I admire that True Gem is ethically and environmentally a responsible company. What stuck out even more to me and prompted me to apply for this was that the recent events that have struck this nation with Black Lives Matter. Um, Many companies have given a generic response of, we support the Black Lives Matter movement, we support our Black employees, our Black customers, but then preceding that, they would post their product basically profiting off of this movement rather than taking the time to pause, to educate themselves, to listen to what is currently going on. I am very I am very much for the Black Lives Matter movement. I think it's extremely important. All lives matter, but until Black Lives Matter, all lives won't. So when I had seen that several companies kind of just did the generic response and then used the movement for profit, it kind of turned me away from that. But what I did notice was that True Gem took a moment to pause. They genuinely stopped to listen, to educate themselves, and to create a long-term plan that not only supports their customers, but potentially any employees they might hire in the future to ensure that they were an ally. This demonstrates, responsibility, accepting others regardless of who they are. This represents that you guys are an ally, that you do have kindness in your hearts for everyone. It shows that it's, you know, that you guys have ethical standards and practices of how someone treats other people. And, that's one of the most important values that fosters the environment in my heart is to be accepting of other people regardless. So now that I've given you a little bit of reasons why my values I feel align with yours, I guess I should give you a little bit of background on who I am. Um, so I know that you're looking for a quality that makes someone unique, and I believe my unique quality is my ability to always be kind regardless of the person, regardless of how another person has treated me, regardless of any situation that I have been in. I always make it a point to listen, to understand, rather than to respond. I'm an advocate for communication and collaborating on solving problems. I know that anyone can have these attributes, but it has been the driving quality that has defined my decisions in life. I am the person that can see, the glass is half full at 3 a.m. when everyone's exhausted from studying from an exam, I have and still do offered my home and my bed for someone who had gone through something where their home was devastated, whether from, a leak or whatever else may have happened. I've always been the person that if someone has texted me at 3 in the morning and they're 2 hours away but they don't feel safe, I get up and I go and drive and I pick them up. Human connection is so valuable, and being able to be available and being able to connect with various people of diverse backgrounds is essential to me. So, when I was 14, I was diagnosed with hyperthyroid, which means that my thyroid was functioning like it was overproducing the hormones, and it had been a really big health scare because my resting heart rate was 140 beats per minute. But it's something they told me. They were like, we're going to have to destroy it and you're going to be placed on thyroid medication for the rest of your life. This has been a huge impact during my undergraduate career. I remember sleeping 16 plus hours a night, having to wake up in the morning, run across campus for a class, and being so exhausted that I could not stay awake. I learned that this was a very defining moment in my undergraduate career because it kind of taught me grit, and it taught me even when I'm dead tired and I'm facing, everything, when it rains it pours, that I'm still able to accomplish what I need to, and I can go after anything that, is set in front of me. I actually had posted this on my Instagram about a reflection of my undergraduate experiences and battling hypothyroid, which is what I'm now in. And a lot of peers had reached out to me, and it warmed my heart. And I had, no idea that they had thought this way of me, but a lot of them told me that they had no idea that I was going through this, that I was suffering, and, that I had been the happiest person they've met, and that I've, been so positive, and that I've influenced them to, go out and be as kind as possible, be as positive no matter what situation you're in. And it was just, wow, it was just the most humbling experience to know that I actually touched someone, to see the brighter side and to go out of way for others and to never judge. And it was such an unreal moment. That was something that is always going to stay with me. Growing up, I was fortunate to have such a diverse experience of different situations, of environments and cultures. My grandma was born in Germany, and my grandfather was a black man from Mississippi. He had joined the army early on, and was actually stationed in Germany where he met my grandma. They got married, but realized soon after that they were not able to have children. And they wanted to do adoption. So when they went into the adoption, they originally had hopes to get a biracial child to kind of mimic, their races mixed into the child. But they got my mom, who was 100% German, light blonde hair, blue eyes. And when they saw her, they fell in love and couldn't imagine being given any other child but her. They loved her so wholeheartedly and unconditionally. And unconditional love is another attribute that has been ingrained in my being. Love is so powerful when you use it to amplify the good in others, amplify their voices. Love is healing, and my grandparents really taught me that. They've always been the pillar for morals for me. They've never had a filter of who deserved love, respect, kindness, compassion, or help, and I've carried these with me for my entire life, regardless of how I've been treated or who anyone else is. I'm a firm believer that everyone deserves to be loved, to be cherished, to be respected, to experience kindness, and when they need help, help them. They've molded me into the person with a heart that is so big and accepting, no matter what walk of life someone comes from. Like, you are welcome. So I've always been the person to express kindness and communication are key. I'm no stranger to always giving chances to get to know someone, to see their heart. I'm the person that makes friends at an airport, just sitting down and talking to them and finding out who they are. I am also a firm believer that everyone has the capacity to be kind and to be a good person. During undergraduate school, if I came across an opportunity, I knew someone that would be an excellent fit for it, I would send them details and encourage them to apply because I knew that opportunity was tailored to them. I was always sending out opportunities like, hey, you should apply for this, shoot for the stars, shoot for the moon. You know, I always encourage peers when they felt like quitting to not give up because we are almost there. This is such a short period of time in our lives. And that everyone in this class is in the same boat. And, if you can't stand, we'll pick you up. We'll get through it. So, another experience from undergraduate, not really, once I graduated, I had an undergraduate girl get referred to me by the department head because she had questions about, going into the food processing industry, and I had dabbled a little bit of it in my undergraduate career. I remember being in her boat, not receiving any feedback or getting any help from the people that had once been in my shoes, and I made a vow to myself that if I was ever in that position, I would be a reliable resource and I would be there to help someone else because I know how it felt to go through that. I was able to give her, another recent grad that had graduated in the same class as me who got hired in the food industry process, and I gave her another student who had done similar research in undergrad, who was a class ahead of her. And I assisted her with what minor she should take. I gave her, emails, links, everything that she needed in order to, get the most out of what she wanted with that specific career path. I told her, I would be there for her. I'll be around campus, and if she needed any help with anything, to let me know. My heart was just overflowing with gratitude from her because she was such a sweet person and she genuinely, felt helped. I definitely will be in contact with her, and I had no idea who she was. I had never met her, but that's my philosophy: assist others when they need it without question. I also have been a huge animal advocate. I grew up with parrots, fish, hamsters, and I even worked at PetSmart for almost 2 years. I always took it upon myself to remember my customers' names and their pets, breeds, names, any quirks that they may have had. I was often greeted with surprise from them because they know that I could go through 200 customers per day. And they were so surprised that I would remember that, But I thought it was so important to make that connection with them, and I always would hug those customers that grieved the pets that they lost. Being in a customer service role really taught me that people go through real things, and sometimes they need a stranger to let them know that someone cares. I miss my customers to this day. I miss all the pets and all the little wiggle butts, and even the pets that have crossed Rainbow Ridge. But as of today, I am now a proud dog mama of 5 dogs. We have a German Shorthair Pointer named Sadie Mae. She's often the source of popularity because she is very good at stage photos. We have Chloe, the little wiener dog. So she was originally supposed to be like 15 to 20 pounds. Ended up only being 9. She's tiny. We have Razabella, aka Razaboo, the Weimaraner, and Daisy May, the 16-and-a-half-year-old wiener dog, and Marshall Moo, which is our newest addition we got last year, the day after my birthday. He is a red Merle mini Aussie, and he loves playing fetch. My significant other and I also have 6 chickens in a garden. I really, really love being able to take care of life that is not mine, like lives other than mine. At any point, I'll have 2 or 3 dogs on top of me, or I'm outside talking to the chickens, and I'm pretty sure that they understand me. So that's my story, a little bit about who I am, my values, and why I would absolutely be honored to be an ambassador of the company. Speaking of dogs, here is Marshall, and this is Sadie. She doesn't want to show up, but thank you so much for this incredible opportunity, and I hope to hear back from you guys soon. Bye, thank you.